Doesn't matter how tough it gets out there, we will never compromise in our quality.
I've stopped going to places because I just got treated really rude at the counter, or the staff that served me, or the food to my table.
So when you go somewhere and you've been treated amazingly, are you going back and are you telling your friends, your family?
100%.
Hi, I'm Tony Awad, founder and CEO of Kebab Nation.
And I'm Trinity. I'm his daughter, and I've been in the industry for 10 years, and I'm the head of marketing. And today, welcome back to our podcast. So today's topic is all about non-negotiables. All right, diving straight into it. So non-negotiables, every founder has them, every business has them, every person has them. Tell me about our non-negotiables within Kebab Nation.
So firstly, it starts off with outstanding customer service. So it all comes down to whoever's at the point of sales. Whoever's at the point of sales, and then your team members that are around where customers are able to see and interact, even if it's just a smile from someone that's making a kebab.
Yep.
So getting back to your point of sales. So how I sort of like the best way to describe it is picture your grandma coming in or your granddad. I'm being serious. Like,
yeah, okay.
How nice are you going to be to them? It's going to be you're going to be genuinely nice.
Yeah.
That genuine, how would you say it? Like when you see someone being very genuine
and polite and just
and
authentic,
polite, and it's coming straight from the heart. That's where I talk about. That's where you're actually being real. Yeah, it's not forced customer service.
Yeah.
I try and let the team know and let everyone know that outstanding customer service is like, I always refer to, I think your grandparents are walking in.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people are introverted, some are extroverted. So you don't have to be over the top, and it doesn't matter if you're over the top or if you're not over the top. Just be yourself, be natural, and actually be genuinely nice.
Yeah.
For example, like I've said it to you, we'll be working. Like say you're working and it's not that busy, and someone older is about to walk out the store and their hands are full. What do? You just go out and open the door for them, right? So it's just like little things like that. So outstanding customer service.
Yeah. Let me touch on that a bit as well, because I actually, for the majority of my 10 years working in Kebab Nation, I was always on the POS. So I was the face of whoever wanted to come in and order a kebab. I was the first person they seen. I think it's really, really important, because I was someone that was really, really shy when I was younger, to the point I wouldn't take phone orders. And I remember it took me 5+ years because I was so nervous that sometimes being shy, you can't help it, but sometimes it actually can be perceived as rude. Because people these days are so used to people that are really extroverted on point of sales, and they're all bubbly and really chatty. So when they don't receive that, sometimes they also count as rude. You may not be directly rude to them, but
or meaning to be rude.
Yeah, like it could just happen because it's a habit you have, or that's just how you speak. But I really think the most important thing about customer service is almost treating them like a friend. Like, I have regulars from the shop that I still see when I'm downstairs having lunch or something, and it's creating a bond with the customer that makes them keep coming back as well, I think is really important. Like, I've stopped going to places because I just got treated really rude at the counter, or the staff that served me, or the food to my table. If I had a complaint and that it wasn't dealt with properly, all those things can not only just ruin the experience, but it can also stop people from coming back. And there's a thing called word of mouth. You know, someone else tells me, hey, I went to this place last weekend, the service was crap, I'm not going.
Let me ask you a question in you saying that. So when you go somewhere and you've been treated amazingly, are you going back and are you telling your friends, your family?
100%.
So is it something that you actually remember?
Genuinely, I'll go back to certain places just because I know how nice the people were. I mean, obviously the food has a part of it.
Of course.
We're talking about the customer service side here.
So it's that feeling you get.
Yeah, and even I don't write reviews often. I don't write negative reviews, but when I write a review, it's always positive just because of how outstanding the customer service was, or the food itself, or the place itself.
All right, let me ask you a question. What happens if a customer's rude?
If a customer's rude to you? This is something I actually had to learn myself, because I'm a bit hot-headed sometimes, to say the least. Like, I am very opinionated, and I always think I'm right. In customer service, that will never be the case. And as humbling as it is, it was the most humbling thing for me as well. I thought I was top dog walking around. My parents owned the joint. I probably lost a couple customers when I was about 12 or 13 because I was just being arrogant. when you have a customer complaint, the most important thing is you actually need to understand what the situation is. Whether it was their food was wrong, their service was wrong, the atmosphere was wrong.
Something could have happened with them.
Yeah.
It had nothing to. It would have had nothing to do
100%.
with the business.
Well, I think there's two different things you're talking about here. I think one is just a genuinely rude customer, and then the second person is someone that's having a complaint.
I'm generalising. So whether it is that or one or the other.
But I think it's actually really important to break it down though. So say if you just have a customer that you've just said, hi, how are you? And they've already started being rude. Like, obviously, you're going to be a bit taken back by that. It's your first time speaking to this human and you're not having the most pleasant experience. But at the end of the day, you never know what someone else is going through in their own life.
At the end of the day as well.
You're representing a brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter of how that customer's treating you to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Right? And then that gets dealt differently. But again, outstanding customer service is understanding all the variables that can come up.
100%.
Right? And then actually going above and beyond.
Yeah. Stepping
out of your comfort zone. Actually being someone that you wouldn't be outside. For example, you're saying you've got you're hot-headed and you're opinionated and you've got something to say and you really won't tolerate much stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. And I'm all for that as well, right? But when it comes to working inside a business...
100%.
It's got an obligation,
1,000%.
right? And you've got a duty, not just to yourself, not just to the business, but to that customer as well.
100%.
And then again, once you understand that, then that's where you're touching on that outstanding customer service.
100%. And like, so the thing is, say a customer comes in, they're being rude. What can you do to actually make the experience better for them? If they're having a complaint, what can you do to make the experience better for them? Whether it's a free can of drink, whether it's bringing in your manager. It's okay to bring your manager in. That's what they're there for.
Customers sometimes want to be heard. If they've got a complaint, well, firstly, they're complaining about something.
Yeah.
Right? So what is it? So that's your first indicator. Okay, that's great. You start finding out what you're actually doing wrong in the business.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then from that, you're actually able to create systems,
Yeah.
training, and actually work out, is this an ongoing issue that keeps on coming up? And is it an issue that you're actually blindsided to?
Yeah.
It's a good thing as well.
It is. It definitely opens the eyes of businesses as well. If, like, say there was something that they're lacking in and they weren't aware of, it's almost just as important for complaints to happen as well. But
totally.
I think the most important thing when you get a complaint, you need to listen to them and understand them. You need to find the issue and the reasoning why that happens. People really rely on that reassurance of, hey, this has happened because of this. You can't just say, I don't know.
How do you feel if you went to a business and, for example, your food was cold?
Yeah.
And you went up and you actually, 90% of people don't go up. You actually probably lose them, right? And they'll either not come back or give you one more try.
Yeah.
But let's say you went up, your food was cold, and you said, excuse me, my food's cold.
Yeah.
And the person behind the POS is either rude, arrogant, or not listening to you and doesn't do anything about it. How do you feel? You don't feel good.
No.
Right? But what happens if that person in that business or whoever's working behind a point of sale actually listens to what you're saying, either calls the manager if they're a junior, or says, look, we're really sorry about that. We'll actually make you something fresh here or there.
They provide a solution. Always finding them a solution, I think, is really key, because also you got to remember, people are actually uncomfortable with the fact of going up and complaining most of the time. Yeah, you have your stereotypical, what we call these days, Karens, but also that it makes people anxious. It makes me anxious, but like, when I know something needs to be done about it, I will say something. So I think you need to go about, hey, they've actually come to you with an issue, provide a solution, make it the best situation you can, try not to lose that sale. So
that's that there.
Yeah.
But then there's also opposite, when people aren't actually complaining about something and you're going above and beyond to give those finer details, those finer touches, you know what I mean? Like someone comes in, you smile, or say it's busy and you've got a few people that are waiting and you could see a customer's a bit frustrated, they've been waiting for a bit. You just look over at them, you just say, ask them what number's your docket? Or whatever, what number are you? You go around, find out how long it's going to be, go back and look at them and say, 5 minutes, sorry about that. Just those little kind of 100%. Little touches there makes you see a customer's face actually change from being frustrated to actually like that. You feel like you see them change. I think
they need reassurance pretty much.
So that's just touching slightly on outstanding customer service.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll move on to the next thing.
Let's go into, so this is something that's more actually about a business, right? Say we're working with other companies to do X, Y, and Z for us or anything like that. So we are a business. We obviously work with other businesses for numerous of reasons, different anything. Tell me about your loyalty and your non-negotiables with working with another company. What are the key factors and why?
Okay, so firstly, we're very loyal. All we ask for is honesty, accountability, and communication.
Yeah.
Do those 3 things with us, and that's all we ask for.
Yeah. Why those things and how do those things affect our business though?
Okay, so when there's no communication, firstly, and there's issues arising, and it's on their end, and we're not being informed or they're not keeping us in the loop, what happens is there's a roll-on effect. Say they're supposed to deliver on something and it doesn't come through on that time or to that quality. Now, without them explaining that to us, right, what we're seeing is lack of communication.
Yeah.
They're not, say that they're supposed to be delivering something at a time when they said they're breaking their word, and then at the same time they come back either with a solution and they move on, or the solution hasn't been resolved, but they keep on pushing it out and holding out information and just feeding us some type of information.
Yeah.
So that's me in general.
Yeah.
So communication is the most important thing. Communicate with us like any relationship. It's great. We keep in the loop. We go back and forth. With a solution, there's a solution. If there's no solution, then we can move on and both move on from what we're trying to work on.
Yeah. I think it's really important as well because obviously we're a business too. If you do something that is dishonest, not communicating, you've got a deadline and you don't meet to it, you're pushing us back as well. Like, we run a very tight ship here. Things need to be done as soon as we plan for it. We plan for things months in advance sometimes. So one thing can move everything back, even if it's by a week. You keep moving everything back and we're out 4 months out of a project that was supposed to be sooner.
And it's happened. We've actually learned from that. So we don't, we've got our key things now, and once you step out of those key things, then we're actually onto it straight away. And if it means we have to seize relationships, we actually will.
Yeah. All right. So this is something that I know my dad's really passionate about, actually. Your non-negotiables with cleanliness within our shops.
Well, cleanliness is everything.
Yeah. Like
I said earlier as well, there are key things that you need to do in a business. And if you do all of these things, well, you're 99.9% going to have a very successful business.
Yeah.
Cleanliness is one of the most major things. It's like a subconscious thing. A customer walks in, a shop can be clean or dirty, somewhat clean, and sparkling clean, right? We like to keep things sparkling clean. Why? What happens is subconsciously, you don't even realize it. You know a shop's clean, but you just feel it. You smell it. It's just everything. Feel, touch, smell, whatever that, all those 3 senses.
5 senses.
5 senses, right?
Yeah.
So cleanliness is our number one thing. Firstly as well, we're in the food industry. So hygiene is our number one thing.
Food and health safety.
So you ask any one of our team members, our systems, anything, you know.
Yeah, I do know. I remember I would be working for probably just before I moved into the office, and we would have, if it's quiet, we would just start deep cleaning the whole shop, even though it wasn't filthy, but we had the time, so let's just clean it a bit extra. You can never be too clean. And I remember 3 times a week, I would be on my hands and knees wiping things that, people wouldn't even think people would see. But it's not the point. You know within yourself as well, your whole shop's clean. All your food is put together in the right ways, clean, safe, all that stuff. And customers will really notice it, even if your hat's dirty.
And even customers or no customers, the way we run our businesses,
good point, yeah.
Actually, cleanliness is our number one thing as well.
Yeah, it's really, really important. And that goes for staff as well. Your appearance of your staff, making sure your t-shirts are clean, making sure you're wearing the right pants that are appropriate for a workplace, making sure everything about you, even if you're having long nails and the nail polish is chipped, that comes across not clean. The customers have that experience as well. So I think it's not just about the workplace as well. It's about your workers, your managers, or
everything.
All right. Systems and operations. Non-negotiables. Let's talk about it.
Systems and operations. That's what makes and breaks a business. Example us creating our systems. Our systems are in place because they've been trialed, proved, and we've made them ourselves from our own hands. Now, when a shop runs on a system in a certain way, right, then from timing to quality to portion control, customer service,
all of that.
Opening, closing, you name it. There's a system for everything.
There is.
With our business, from opening to close and everything in between is systemized.
Yeah.
Our team know it. Our team know that when that system is broken, what happens? It's mayhem. You go into a kitchen, for example, and if they're not chopping in a certain way, for example, prep.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a way is you do one task at a time, right? And if you're actually cutting lettuce, right, you'll start off, for example, putting your chopping board out, having your rag there, having the sink going with the water in there, having a ret wag and having the bin there, right? What? What are you laughing at?
You said ret wag.
Oh,
you got it.
Ret wag. No, a wet rag. Now, cutting the story short, there's a way of doing things. We've got a system in place for everything. Again, if we always say this to our team members, if you find something that you could do something quicker, faster, and more efficient, let the supervisor know or the store manager know. Store manager will let us know. We'll test it out, and if that happens to be right, then that system changes. And again, our systems not constantly change according to our tech.
Yeah.
If we get something in that's actually making things faster, streamlined, and so on, then that system changes. But going back to what you asked, systems in place are non-negotiable.
All right. So, for example, though, I want to know why these are your non-negotiables. What would it be like if we didn't have a system for, say, like stock take?
So, if we're doing stock takes and we don't have a system, then it goes down to each individual has their own way of doing things. Some people are going to do it quicker, some aren't. People are going to miss out on things. There's so many points that a system covers, right? That when a system gets put in place, for example, stock take, we've done it ourselves. We've timed it. We've seen what the most efficient and fastest way to get through this, right? A way where it's the consistency of accuracy is all thought out when creating this system. So once we do it, and we actually do it ourselves, and then we go through it, and sometimes the system could take probably 4 or 5 times before we put that in place. Once that system's in place, then the speed, accuracy, and and the consistency. Now, there's something more to that as well, Trin, right? So there's a well-being of each individual team member as well.
Yeah.
Systems make life easier for everyone. When it brings in order, no confusion, it makes things quicker, more efficient. So once you put that when you take that into account, when you're actually doing it, we're talking about stock takes. If you're doing a stock take now, you're actually going through it in a very organized and very flowy manner. So yeah.
All right. And I think this was the best to say for last. This is pretty much what our whole brand is about. Let's talk about the non-negotiables with our quality.
Quality, my number one thing. Oh, not number one, but yeah.
It's pretty up there.
From when I first ever thought of opening Kebab Nation, it was all about quality. Quality produce is number one. From our meat to our tomatoes to our lettuce to our cheese to the paper we get for our bags, everything is about quality. You actually know when you're eating something, for example, we could go by seconds in tomatoes, for example, but what's that going to cause? Sogginess.
Oh, soggy kebab, yuck.
It's sogginess. The tomato, you're actually tasting it. It's not crunchy and so on. We will never compromise on quality.
Yeah.
Quality is our number one thing. Our meat, we buy the best meat in the market. Again, people don't know about meats, and I'll do a whole series about meat and the type of meats out there and how
we're different to the rest.
That's right. So quality, non-negotiable,
And it will never be, like, it will always be our number one. Like, our tagline is quality, you deserve it. Because you as a customer, you're walking in and you deserve that quality we're providing.
That's why it's our tagline.
And I think that's also our biggest point of difference out in this massive industry. One of. We've got many, but definitely I think, especially when we came around about 10 years ago, the mint was still really, really popping off. That was in most
and in
of our
general,
shops.
it still is.
It still is, but I think
the reason why people aren't using it. So it's very tough to work with. Secondly, it's triple the price, and there's a lot more to it as well.
There is. But yeah, I think quality is something that, you know, there's brands that when they're smaller, they have that whole quality thing about them and they want to maintain it, and then they turn into these massive corporate giants, and that just goes out the window.
And even not corporate giants, just in general, people are very price conscious. They're trying to make as much money as they can.
Yeah.
Times get tough out there, so margins are tough out there. No matter what, doesn't matter how tough it gets out there, we will never compromise on our quality. Yeah. That's our number one thing. And again, that's why our tagline is quality, you deserve it. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. So, in saying that, it was a little bit of a shorter one today, but I just felt like we just want to come down, sit here, not be scripted. That's what we were talking about today.
And just be straight out.
Yeah.
Like, what you're seeing is what you get. Like, where you're seeing Trinity talking to me and Trinity having a talk to each other, we're talking like this over our dinner at home.
This is dinner
over
table
our dinner
conversation.
Table. Absolutely.
But yeah, so thanks for watching. There's going to be plenty more coming out. And yeah, if there's anything in particular you want spoken about, if you have any questions, yeah, reach out on Tony's social media pages. They're all down below. And I think we'll just see them in the next one.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And we'll see you on our next episode.